Hey everyone, it's Dr. Phil here. Welcome to today's start to the week. Today I'm going to be looking at the idea of setting intentions. Now, setting intentions is about deciding how you're going to move through the week, through the day, independent of what happens. It kind of gives you a kind of guiding principle of this is how I'm going to respond to whatever occurs. And this can be very useful because there's a thing called priming. Priming is where our brain is already in a particular way of thinking, which then allows us to process information through that way of thinking. So we can prime ourselves negatively, and in fact the brain has a vast capacity to do this, where we start to see trouble everywhere. But we can also use it for good. We can prime ourselves by deciding, okay, I am going to start the week, I'm going to approach everything from a place of curiosity, or calmness, or serenity, or seeing the bigger picture. So the first thing you want to do is decide, how do you want to experience this week? I gave you some examples just a few moments ago, but it could really be anything. What would be a really great way to set your intention, to set your direction, so that whatever does happen, you're coming to it from this neurological perspective of, this is how I choose to process and interpret and see what happens in my life. A few minutes ago I talked about the concept of the fact that we are often negatively primed, and there is some great evidence about this, that we have what's called a negative bias, whereby we pay more attention to negative things than positive things. There are different pieces of research saying what percentage that is. I heard someone today, researchers saying it takes 40 good things to outweigh one negative thing. Now, whatever the number is, we've all had that experience where we can see some lovely things and hear one unpleasant comment, and that one unpleasant comment seems to connect us more strongly to the negative feeling than the positives did to the positive feelings. And I think this is evolutionary, that we have this negative bias, and a nice way of thinking about it is negatives are like Velcro and positives are a bit like Teflon. They ping off us. That means we have to prime ourselves against this kind of inbuilt bias towards focusing more on positives. We have to work even harder because we've got this kind of tendency to think that way. So thinking about this, what for you would you like to set as your intention for this week, to bring yourself back, to start from that point? And anytime you find yourself wobbling a bit from it, because we're all human, I'm sure we will do that, just decide to bring yourself back. And then notice what kind of a week you have as a result of deciding, this is how I'm going to deal with stuff, whatever happens. Let me know. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.